Today we will combine all the previous lessons in this unit to solve linear equations. So let's get started. When we solve equations, the first thing we're going to want to do is to simplify down each side separately. So for this problem, a good start is to use the distributive property and multiply this -3 to the quantity x minus 7. That'll give us 5 minus 3x plus 21. And then on the other side, we'll use distributive property and multiply this 2 to the quantity 2 minus x. We end up with 4 minus 2x minus 8. Then we'll combine like terms. So we'll have -3x plus 26 is equal to -2x minus 4. So now the left and right side of this equation are simplified. The next step is to use addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division to isolate the variable on one side. I'll go ahead and isolate the variable on the right side of the equation. So I'm going to add 3x to both sides. And when we do this, the x term disappears from the left, and we have 26 equal to x minus 4. And then we'll add 4 to both sides, giving us 30 equal to x. And then we'll rewrite this as x equal to 30. Always go back to the original equation when you check your answer. Just in case a mistake was made on the first step, we want to go back to the original problem. So wherever there is an x, we will replace it or substitute it with 30. And then using PEMDAS, we will simplify this down. So we have 3 times 23 is equal to 2 times -28 minus 8. Now we do multiplication. We get 5 minus 69 equal to -56 minus 8. This gives us -64 equal to -64. And that's a true statement. So the solution to this equation is x equal to 30. Now when we solve equations, here are some best practices to follow. Again, these are not hard and fast rules that must be followed step by step, but just recommendations. The first step is to simplify down each side of the equation separately. You're going to look at the left side, simplify it down, and then look at the right side and simplify it down. And as you saw in that previous problem, we could use the distributive property. If it's in factored form, we're going to combine like terms, do arithmetic. The next step is to isolate the variable on one side of the equation by adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing both sides of the equation by the same non-zero number. Again, it's critical that what we do to one side, we have to do to the other, because we need to keep the equation balanced. And then finally, you want to check your answer by substituting the value into the original equation. If correct, you'll get a true statement. So let's try another. To solve this problem, let's start by simplifying down each side of the equation. Again, we'll use the distributive property, multiply this -5. So we end up with -5 plus 25y. Now we're going to distribute this 5 to this second quantity, resulting in a -40y minus 10. And that's equal to, and then on the right side, we can combine like terms. This is -12y. We can simplify the left side down further by combining like terms. So -5 plus a -10, it's -15 minus, and then 25y minus 40y is -15y equal to -12y. Both sides are now simplified. We cannot simplify them down further. So the next step is to isolate the variable on one side. Once again, I'm going to gather the variables on the right side. So I'm going to add 15y to both sides. So we end up with negative 15 equal to 3y. Next step is to divide both sides by 3. We end up with negative 5 equal to y. And we'll write this as y equal to negative 5. We check our answer. We'll go back to this original problem. And we will substitute a negative 5 everywhere there is a y. So now we have plus 5 times negative 8 times negative 5. Minus 2, close up parentheses, equal to negative 2 times negative 5. Minus 10 times negative 5. And then working from inside of these parentheses, we'll have 1 plus 25 plus 5 times the quantity, this will be 40 minus 2, is equal to 10 plus 50. Now we have negative 5 times 26 plus 5 times 38 is equal to 60. Negative 5 times 26 is negative 130. And 5 times 38 is 190. And then negative 130 plus 190, that is 60. So we have 60 equal to 60. That is a true statement. Now we can simplify this math down. If you notice, both of these have a factor of 5. Instead of multiplying 5 times 26 and 5 times 38, we could factor out that 5, leaving us with negative 26 plus 38. Doing the math inside the parentheses, we end up with 12, and then 5 times 12 is also 60. With this third problem, the left side is fully simplified. We cannot combine anything here. So I'll go ahead and rewrite this left side, 24z minus 22. And again, we can use the distributive property on the right side, giving us negative 4 plus 24z plus 13. We can still simplify down the right side further by combining negative 4 plus 13 to do that arithmetic. That gives us 24z plus 9. We'll gather the variable on the left side, so we'll subtract 24z from both the right and the left side. If you notice, our variable has disappeared. So now we have negative 22 equal to 9. Well, that's not a true statement. So negative 22 is not equal to 9. That is false. So in this case, we have no solution. There is no value of z that we can plug into this equation and make a true statement. So let's practice one more. This one's got fractions. So once again, the recommended first step is to use the distributive property to do this multiplication to get rid of the parentheses. So 1/6 times 12, well, that's 2. So we have 2t. And then 48 times 1/6, or 48 divided by 6 is 8. And that's equal to 22 minus, and then 1/8, we're going to multiply to the quantity 24t minus 128. 1/8 times 24, that's 3t. And then negative 1/8 times negative 128, or 128 divided by 8, is positive 16. We still have 2t plus 8 on the left. We have not done anything on the left side yet. And then 22 plus 16, that's 38, minus 3t. So now both the left and right side of this equation are simplified. Let's isolate the variable on the left side by adding 3t to both sides. This results in 5t plus 8 on the left equal to 38. The variable has disappeared on the right side. And then we'll subtract 8 from both sides. We end up with 5t equal to 30. And then dividing by 5, we get a value of t equal to 6. Then checking the answer, we have 1/6 times 12 times 6 plus 48 is equal to 22 minus 1/8. Then we have 24 times 6 minus 128. There are quite a few ways to simplify down each of these sides, but I'm just going to go ahead and do all the arithmetic within the parentheses first. So when we do this, we get 1/6, and then 12 times 6 is 72, plus 48 equal to 22 minus 1/8, and then 24 times 6 is 144 minus 128. We have 1/6 times is 120 equal to 22 minus 1/8 times 16. And now we'll multiply. 1/6 times 120 is 20. And that's equal to 22 minus 1/8 times 16 is 2. And we have 20 equal to 20. So the solution to this equation is t equal to 6. A great way to learn is to practice on your own. We will discuss in a bit, but go ahead and pause your screen and do these 3 problems. For this first problem, first we're going to simplify down the left side of the equation, resulting in 12a minus 5, and then the right side is 43. And then isolating our variable, we end up with a equal to 4 as our solution. Although I didn't show this step, make sure you do check your answer by plugging that value back into the original equation. For the second problem, we're going to simplify down the left side of the equation to 2b minus 16, and the right side to negative 2b plus 4. Next, I isolated the variable of 4b on the left side of the equation, ending up with 4b equal to 20, and dividing by 4, we get the answer of b equal to 5. Finally, for this third problem, when we simplify the left side of the equation, we end up with 21c plus 31, and that's equal to negative c minus 2. When we multiply by a negative, we're multiplying by negative 1 here, so it's going to change the sign of both terms within the parentheses. So we have negative c minus 2 on the right side of this equation. Isolating the variable on the left side this time, we end up with 22c equal to negative 33. Dividing by 22, we get c equal to negative 33 over 22. This is negative 3 times 11 in the numerator and 2 times 11 in the denominator. So these 11s will cancel out. And we end up with c equal to negative 3/2 as the solution to this equation. Continue practicing solving equations, and I'll see you in the next video.